Hello, fellow Bears fans. Welcome to my 2014 Bears video blog. Week 3, Bears at Jets game preview. Got a big win and escaped with a big win in San Francisco last Sunday night. Things looked dismal at the beginning, but we got it done. Very glad we were able to pull out the win there because we did need that to move to 1-1. We didn't want to fall 0-2 in the season. Coming in this week against the Jets. We once again, so far the first 3 games of the season with the Bills, the 49ers, and Jets, we got to face very tough front sevens. Jets actually one of the toughest front sevens in the league. So it's going to be a very tough test for our offensive line yet again. Also not sure yet whether or not we're going to have Slauson or Garza. Neither of them practice this week, so probably not going to play. But De La Puente and Ola have filled in just fine there. Let's get to some of the numbers in this game. Points per game, we put up 24 per game. They put up 21.5, ranks us 10th, ranks them 19th. Yards per game, we put up 321.5, ranks us 25th. They put up 357, ranks them 12th. Pass yards per game, we put up 255.5, that ranks us 9th in the league. They put up 178, ranks them 29th in the league. Rush yards per game, we haven't been able to get the running game going so far this year, only rushing 66 yards per game. That ranks us 30th in the league. However, the Jets, 179 per game, ranks them first in the league. That's a combination of Ivory, Johnson, and Geno Smith as well. Defensive points per game, we give up 21.5, ranks us 15th. They give up 22.5, ranks them 17th. Defensive yards per game, we give up 359.5, ranks us 21st. They give up 274, ranks them 3rd. Like I said, very good defense, especially the front 7 on this team. Pass yards per game, we give up 199.5, ranks us 10th. They give up 221.5, ranks them 16th. So they give up a little bit more on the passing side. Defensive rush yards per game is where they're really good. They give up only 52.5, which ranks them tops in the league. We gave up 160 so far in the first 2 games, ranks us 27th. So they're a very good running team on the offensive side of the ball. Very good running defense on the defensive side of the ball. Let's move over to my segment now, individual player by position breakdown. Let's go start with quarterback position, Geno Smith versus Jay Cutler. 2 very different types of quarterbacks here. Geno Smith is once again, as we saw in the first 2 weeks of the season, we're going to see again in the 3rd week, a quarterback that can run the read option and run it well, what Geno Smith can do. He's still a young quarterback, still figuring out, the pocket presence, all that. He's very mobile. We got to make sure we keep contained on him. We got Jay Cutler on our side, which, like I said, he's more of a gunslinger. He's more pass than he is run, whereas Geno Smith is pretty much half and half. He's going to run that read option. We got to be ready for that. Overall, just pure skill level, I'm going to give the edge to us at quarterback, Cutler over him. Running back, Chris Johnson, Chris Ivory. 2 very good running backs, especially Chris Johnson. Toward the end of his Tennessee Titan career, wasn't doing very well. I think that had more to do with Tennessee than it did Chris Johnson. They weren't paying him what he really wanted. He wasn't going to go anywhere with Tennessee. Tennessee didn't have the greatest offensive line in the world, so I think that was more there. Chris Johnson's still a very capable back. So is Chris Ivory. He can get the job done as well. On our side of the ball, we got Matt Forte and Kadeem Carey. Kadeem Carey hasn't gotten many looks this year, whereas they run more of a 2 running back attack with Johnson and Ivory. Basically, in this one, I'm going to say it's pretty much a toss-up. So far, we haven't got the running game going. Not saying that's Forte's fault or anything, but we went up against very tough front sevens. So I'm going to give it a toss-up right here at that position for this game. Wide receiver position, their starting receivers are Eric Decker and Jeremy Curley. Decker coming into this game is questionable. But even with that, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey versus Curley and Decker, I would give us the edge there because we have the best tandem in the league. Plus, we have Santonio Holmes. They don't really have the greatest backups in the world. At the wide receiver position, Greg Salas. On the other side, David Nelson. I think with Santonio Holmes and some of our other backups, we're a little bit better stacked at receiver position. So I give us a huge edge at the receiver position in this game. A very big edge. Tight end position, Cumberland versus Martellus Bennett. Give us the edge there. Let's move over to this defensive side of the ball here. The Jets are one of the teams in the league that run the base 3-4 over the base 4-3. And like I said, very good front seven here for the Jets. They, like I said, they give up 52.5 rush yards per game, so that says it all. Led by their front four, which is Muhammad Wilkerson, Sheldon Richardson, or their front three, Muhammad Wilkerson, Sheldon Richardson, Damon Harrison. Linebackers, David Harris, Demario Davis, and Quentin Couples. Very good linebackers there as well. Let's look at the defensive side of the ball as far as defensive line. They run the 3-4. We run the 4-3. It's a little bit different. Named off there is ours. Obviously, we got Stephen Paya, Jeremiah Ratliff, and Jared Allen, Lamar Houston. I say overall defensive line, that's pretty even. And I would probably maybe even give them a slight edge at linebacker, being as we do have Lance Briggs, Shea McClellan, and Jonathan Bostic, and DJ Williams is also filling in. But Shea McClellan, first year as a linebacker. Jonathan Bostic, second year out of Florida. He's still getting things together. Really, our only proven veterans are DJ Williams and Lance Briggs, so I'm going to give them a slight edge there. Cornerback position, we got a little bit weaker at the cornerback position on ours as we lost Charles Tillman for the year, but the rookie Kyle Fuller stepped up. Their corners are D. Miller coming into this game questionable, and Antonio Allen. Our corners are going to be Kyle Fuller and Tim Jennings. And we got very good corner play last week. Fuller had 2 picks in the game. And Tillman had a near pick in the game, but Tillman's out for the year, so we have lost that aspect of our corner position. I'm going to say pretty even matchup there. Safety position, they have DeJuan Landry, very good strong safety, and Calvin Pryor. I don't know much about Pryor. Our safety position has picked it up a little bit this year from last year, especially Chris Conte. Much maligned last year. A lot of people really were hard on Conte, and for good reason. He had a pick in the first game. In the second game, a very excellent pick on a diving interception in the game. He seems like he's picked it up a little bit this year. Maybe he's going to be all right for us. Ryan Monday's been playing very well as well. Conte, however, did leave the game last week. Hopefully he'll be back this week. Not 100% sure on whether or not we'll have him back. But if not, Vereen will be filling in at safety for him. DeJuan Landry is a very good safety. I'm still a little bit worried about our safety position, so I'm going to give them a little bit of an edge there. Move now on to my keys to the game. Key to the game on offense, even though we are going up against a very good front seven, this will be the time to prove that we can get it done, and that's get the establish the running game and get the running game going. We haven't been able to do it this year. Forte had 80 yards rushing and 80 yards receiving in the first game, but didn't do much in the second game against a very good front seven. We got to figure out a way to exploit to get draw up some different plays here to get the running game going. Maybe confuse the defense a little bit. Try to open up some holes for Forte with a little bit of a balanced running attack. I really can't say why we haven't gotten the rushing yards because we know Forte's as good as one of the best running backs in the league. But we got to get some more holes open for him. If we can get a good running game going against a good rush defense, that'll help us tremendously in the offense because we can start running the play action pass, and they do give up 221.5 yards per game in the pass. But if we make ourselves one-dimensional, it's going to be harder to get that job done. So my key to the game is establish the run, Let's get that going to open up for the play action pass. Key to the game on defense is going to be stop the run. This is the team in the league that's tops in the running game. Top rushing team in the league. They put up 179 rush yards per game. We got to stop the run in this. We can't let Chris Ivory and Chris Johnson shred us. They only average 178 pass yards per game, so they actually average more rush yards per game than they do pass yards. Geno Smith's a running quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback, and he's not the greatest. He doesn't have the greatest arm in the world. He's not the greatest decision maker in the world. If we can get back there, get pressure on him, keep him contained in the pocket, we can make him make some mistakes. So I say make them pass more than they run. Get that running game stopped. Maybe build an early lead in this game. But stop that run. Make them pass. And I think that's key to success on defense. Going to move now to my players to watch. My player to watch on offense this week is going to be Matt Forte. He had a pretty solid game in week 1. Wasn't able to get much going in week 2. Look for him to have a breakout game here. He's hungry. He wants to get it done. He wants to have a big game. I think they're gonna utilize him quite a bit in this game. Defensive player to watch is going to be rookie corner Kyle Fuller. Had a tremendous game in week 2. Ended up having to move from the nickel position over to the starting corner over to the corner position opposite Tim Jennings once Tillman got hurt. And when that happened, even when Tillman got hurt, he stepped up big. 2 late game interceptions to get us back in the ball game and give us a lead and help us keep the lead. So he's my player to watch this week, especially against a young quarterback. Even though he's a young quarterback, against a young quarterback that if we can get some pressure on, make him make some quick decisions. Kyle Fuller looks like a veteran out there and being able to jump routes. He did great jumping the route where he took the ball away from Crabtree, and on his second interception, left his man because he saw where Geno Smith's eyes went. He saw that he was going to go up, was able to adjust, leave his man, and get the interception underneath the receiver that it was intended for. So look for him to have a very big game as well. Now on to my prediction for this game. I'm going to say, not going to really say it's going to be a blowout, because I don't think it'll be like a tremendous blowout. I'm going to say Bears 31, Jets 24 final score, moving us to 2-1. So let's go get that done. Let's get a big win in New York against the Jets. Move ourselves to 2-1. Go Bears, bear down.